Actraiser, an early release for the Super Nintendo, is a game that asks you to play God. A predecessor to the so-called Soul Blazer trilogy, this one's the grandpappy of them all. The human race has been wiped out by a demon called Tanzra. It's up to you to reclaim the world in this genre-defying classic from Enix. The game begins with a little cherub, your best buddy in the game. The little nudist catches you up to speed, manages your game options, offers moral support, and, as we will see, also gets to deliver some divine smackdown. But first of all, he takes down your name, a process rife with pun's abilities. The game is divided into two different modes. In the first mode, you run and jump around, killing the demons of a region in righteous swashbuckling. You swing your sword, throw fireballs, smite your enemies. In the second mode, you help the human race develop, fighting off monster colonies and otherwise expanding. Your little winged buddy helps by fighting off the swarms of monsters. You have a wide variety of miracles to use here, mainly related to making the terrain more developable in one way or another. After the town reaches a certain point, another monster rears its ugly head and you must swashbuckle it too into submission, finally moving on to another region. Level selection is, to a large degree, non-linear. You can start a town, leave, start another region, and come back as you will. In fact, you'll find it necessary to travel back and forth as the towns are often linked in some fashion. For example, the desert people at one point will suffer a plague, and the cure can only be developed by the island people. Thus, it behooves you, as a god, and player, to not neglect anyone. Your power in the 2D stages is directly based upon the quality of human civilization. The higher the population, the higher your level. This adds another action RPG type element to the game. Also, it is in the simulation levels where your magical spells, spare lives, and magic points are developed. Uncovering all these secrets is a never-ending quest, and one of the best points of replay value for the game. The graphics are sufficient, but definitely not this game's strongest point. This game was released in the early days of the SNES, and at points, read the simulation parts, look it. For the most part, though, the game holds its own. There's a nice variety of levels to visit, from dark forests to massive deserts. As well, of course, as the requisite caves, fire caves, and ice caves. One of the best aspects of this game is the Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack. I can't praise it enough. The man has an incredible ability to make a MIDI still be rich, full of subtleties, vastly enhancing the game experience. It's difficult to track down, but the orchestrated soundtrack, Actraiser Symphonic Suite, is a real gem. To sum up, we have tight and diverse gameplay. Some have called Actraiser oversimplified, but I would argue that it's perfectly streamlined so as to be accessible. This is a non-linear game with massive replay value, tons of secrets, and some of the best music put on the old workhorse of the SNES. Maybe it's just divine intervention, but I give this game my highest praise, 5 out of 5.